Here's how the City of Seattle translates.
Marco, what do you have going on at work?
Well, Isabel, I have a big event coming up and I need to translate some documents for it. But I've never translated anything before and I think it's going to be difficult. How can I find someone to translate for me? And I don't even know how much it'll cost.
Oh, I recently submitted my first translation project request to the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, OIRA, Language Access Team. It was easy, fast, and straightforward.
Really? Tell me more.
The Language Access Team works with local translators who bring to the work cultural relevancy for Seattle immigrant communities. And working with them means directly investing in the local workforce.
Wow, that's great. How does the process work?
The Language Access Team uses an online translation management tool called SmartCat to process project requests from departments. In the platform, they assign projects to local translators who then translate the content. The team also helps facilitate the process of community reviewing the initial translation and finally generates invoices for your department.
Wow, that sounds super easy.
Yep, and there's more. When you work with the OIRA Language Access Team, your translated content will be saved in a single database. When you submit a similar project in the future, the system will remind translators of previously translated content. This makes in-language written communication consistent and professional.
Amazing.
It is. OIRA also provides strategic outreach and engagement guidance about communicating to immigrant and refugee communities for your programs and campaigns.
Awesome. I'm ready to get started.
I'm glad to hear it. But first, do you know how to prepare your documents for translation?
Well, no, I don't.
There are some best practices you should follow before submitting documents for translation. For an existing program, make sure to translate vital documents containing critical information that individuals need in order to access services and benefits.
What types of documents are considered vital?
Some examples could be application forms, consent and complaint forms, letters, notices, and signs indicating that free language assistance is available. Translation is about helping people access the city's resources. So when communicating about a new program or an event, you should translate content that supports the audience along the entire process, from seeing the event flyer to attending the event. Also, you should prepare documents for translation with all of the content you need before you submit them.
So I should make sure I have everything ready ahead of time, including social media posts, websites, and flyers?
Yes, that's right. Finally, it's important to keep your language simple and concise. Avoid technical terms, American idioms, and jargon so they can translate the content appropriately.
Like at a middle school reading level?
You got it.
Okay, I think I'm set. When I'm ready to submit my project, what do I do?
You can start by going to seattletranslationrequest.smartcat.com. See, let me show you. First, log in with your city credentials. You want to reserve at least 5 business days for the team to work on a project. Then select the languages needed for translation. Finally, upload files you need for translation.
What type of documents can I submit?
You can submit various file formats. The files you'll receive after the translation process will be either in the original format or in an Excel spreadsheet with English and the translations in a table.
This all sounds great, but what if I have questions about the process later?
Check out OIRA's training materials and follow the instructions on the internal SharePoint found at seattlegov.sharepoint.com/OIRA/language-access. Make sure you read and bookmark the project submission cheat sheet.
I will. One last question. What if I want to work with a different translation partner other than the Language Access team?
That's fine too. You can work with other companies or individuals for translation. However, if you do work with other companies, make sure all the communication materials are translated and reviewed by at least 2 translators who know the cultural and linguistic nuances of the local community.
Thank you so much for explaining how the OIRA Language Access team can help me with my translation project. I'm excited to get started.
I'm so glad to hear that. The Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs is a great resource. Visit their website or the SharePoint page for all of your language access needs, or email the Language Access team at imr_languageaccess@seattle.gov.